One. I think we're going.
Are we going?
Welcome to the Comic Binge. I'm Chris Clow. This is Paul Herman.
Hi, guys.
We're taking a little bit of a different approach to this. Originally, we wanted to do a live stream, but technical difficulties and my dumb ass is preventing that from happening tonight.
You're not dumb.
So, we're doing a little bit of a compromise where...
Ron Lim artwork.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty great. We're playing Maximum Carnage. We both just went to the theater and we saw Venom. Let There Be Carnage
last week. We just didn't get back.
Right. We did it last week. We did it like on opening night or pretty close to it.
Yeah, I consider Friday night opening night.
Yeah, that's fair. So,
I have the ultimate insanity.
And now you just hear Woody Harrelson's "I am Carnage." Right?
I am Carnage.
So we wanted to try and find kind of a different way to talk about the movie that we saw, and I've been wanting to...
And the comic books.
And the comics.
Don't forget the comic books.
But we wanted to do something a little bit different and have a little bit more fun with it, and I've been trying to get Paul to play certain games for a while now, and we figured we'd just meld the best of both worlds. So we're going to talk about Venom Let There Be Carnage, but while we're doing it...
Make mine mayhem.
We're going to between playing Spider-Man and Venom in Maximum Carnage. In this case, we're playing the Sega Genesis version.
That's the version. That's my OG version.
That's his OG. Mine was Super Nintendo, but that's
I had both. Of
course you did.
Of course I did. Why wouldn't I?
The Super Nintendo had the red cartridge. You know, it was like peak.
That's
90s.
true. It did. All right.
90s,
Yeah, definitely peak 90s.
But anyway, so Paul is going to start us off in playing this classic example of Spider-Man gaming. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while.
We're going to talk about him later. Trust me. Trust me.
But yeah, let's kick it off here. So, I mean, Maximum Carnage was really kind of, at least I think, one of the major sticking points in terms of Spider-Man's popularity in 90s pop culture, you know?
Well, I mean, it was a sticking... Wait, you say sticking point, right? No pun intended.
Aha, yeah. No, but it's like, this game came out... yeah. All things considered, though, not a bad representation.
No, it's not. It's not bad. It's not bad. But anyway, about Maximum Carnage in the 90s.
The fact that they released a dedicated video game for the home consoles of the time based on a comic story shows that Spider-Man was on top of the world, and that's due in no small part to the popularity of the symbiotes.
Right, but this is also pre Clone Saga.
Right.
So it's peak. This is obviously when Venom was just starting to get into his heyday. This is I think also this is before or this is after the Lethal Protector, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mark Bagley and all that. Venom must have had at least 2-3 miniseries at this point. And I'm just gonna be. I love how this is pure just beat 'em up.
Yeah.
But yeah. It was peak. I guess I wouldn't know if it was peak Spider-Man popularity, but it's definitely a time. And this is before I knew there was, or I loosely knew there was going to be a what do you want to call it? A massive storyline. I knew Carnage was coming back, and I knew Spider-Man Unlimited was going to be.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Unlimited was the original or the new series they brought out for this series, which. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and I guess it was meant for literally Ron Lim. Like they made it for Ron Lim specifically. Like he wanted to draw Spider-Man, or whatever. But that being said, I don't know. I have no idea the history of that. But yeah, I bought Unlimited. I had all the original Marvel Maximum Carnage comic books. I sold them in high school. I sold all my Venom and Carnage comic books to yeah, dude. I got most of them back though.
Oh, you might want to crawl up because I think there's like health up on some of the walls up there.
All right, let's try it.
Maybe not that one, but
anyway, for to buy punk rock CDs in high school. So I had most of Lethal Protectors or a good chunk of them. I had a ton of stuff. Oh god, yeah, sweet. I had a ton. I mean, I had like first appearance of Carnage, Which again, I eventually got all that stuff back, a lot of it back.
I didn't even know you could do that jump kick. By the way, sorry,
I can.
But yeah.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, I got most of them back. A lot of the Eric Larson, David Michelinie stuff I got rid of, which I again regretted. Obviously, hold on to your stuff, kids. That's all I gotta say. You never know when you're gonna want it back or be bummed out when you don't have it.
Looking at what those prices have
Eat
done.
this pizza box, jerk.
I think those are newspapers.
Oh, whatever, same difference.
But all of that to say that obviously Venom and Carnage were super popular.
Well,
outside
Venom was. I'm not sure if Carnage was.
Well, but Carnage was very closely associated. I mean, honestly, this game probably did a lot of favors in communicating Carnage out to the public.
For sure. Well, he was also. This is also pre-90s game, right?
93, I believe. Oh no!
No! I missed it. That's such a ripoff. Maybe this is supposed to be in the Clone Saga era because they're all the same people.
It's a good point.
I don't know. Maybe Jackal really is behind all this.
But I mean, it took a long time for Venom to get a movie the first time around.
Oh God, no! Not these chicks.
Oh yeah, the hair.
The hair.
The hair really whips them into a.
Why aren't these ladies in the comic books, man? Seriously, they're
Lizzie and what was the other name?
Maybe this inspired the blonde is one that inspired Lizzie McGuire. Maybe
there should be a Rapunzel Marvel villain, right? That just whoosh.
Man, they need to be listening. Marvel creators need to be listening to that. Oh God!
Now that Marvel's owned by Disney, they got that Tangled movie. They just adapt her. But anyway,
ow, it hurts.
So obviously Venom showed up in the animated series. He showed up in Spider-Man 3, but he didn't get his own movie until 2018. And I was living in Chicago at that time, so I didn't get to see that one with you. And we've talked about it a little bit, but
which one?
Verse Venom.
Oh God, yeah.
But you were pretty generally okay with it, right?
Well, ow.
Oh,
it's your turn.
All right.
Yes, I was genuinely okay with it. If you listen to the Marvel Newscast podcast that I am on with our old friend Sean Gerber, you will have heard me say I liked it, mostly for ironic purposes, but I liked it. I thought Venom for the most part looked good. If those who are familiar with 80s films will know when I say this, I compared it to a trauma movie had a baby with a canon film movie. And canon films...
Oh, like Superman 4.
And Masters of the Universe. And trauma films like Toxic Avenger, Surf Nazis, that kind of thing. That's exactly what this movie seemed to be. It seemed like it was it didn't know what it wanted to be. It didn't take itself seriously, and that's mainly because of Tom Hardy. Because Tom Hardy was the only one that knew what kind of movie he was in. That Sean has his famous thing on our podcast for that. And that's true. Everyone else did not know what movie Tom Hardy was in. I love Tom Hardy and Venom in the movie. Everything else was kind of eh. And when I rewatched it I think last year, it's a rough watch. I ain't gonna lie. It's a rough watch at times.
You think so?
At times. And whenever Eddie Brock is in the movie, it's a rough watch.
Like even Riot, you're not...
Oh God. I like Riz Ahmed, don't get me wrong, but he took it way too seriously.
Oh, you think? Oh, okay, I see.
I think so.
So it had an identity crisis, is basically...
Yeah. Fragile!
So the first movie comes out, it is what it is, but it makes money, right?
Yeah.
So...
Well, I was telling Morgan, my wife, earlier, he knows what Morgan is, but you guys don't know who she is. My wife that, because she hated the movie. We went and saw it on a date night, pre-kid. And she was like, that movie sucked. And I was telling her that, that movie didn't make money really domestically, but it was huge internationally. That's where it made up most of its money. Mm-hmm. And, so I mean, it was successful internationally, and that's why they made. I mean, essentially why they made another movie. I think of it. I don't know if it did well enough domestically to justify a sequel, but we went and saw a sequel last Friday, and it was. I loved it. I really liked it. I want to see it again. I don't know if I want to spend money on going to see it again in the theater, Because there's a lot of movies coming out right now.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot. Like, I mean, it's so backloaded now with all the, COVID and all that stuff.
And people are starting to realize that they can make money by putting movies in the theaters again.
I know. It's great. I love it. But yeah, we loved it. It was great to, be... I think I've seen more movies with you in the last, 3 months than I have, with anyone besides my wife. Honestly, in the last, 10 years,
Well, we didn't watch Saints of Newark together, though.
I saw it yesterday.
Yeah, I saw it.
Did you see it yet?
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah,
this is not Saints Newark binge. But I don't know if you knew this. Dan Brooks wants to start a Sopranos podcast.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not sure if Dan's watching this, but are you a big Sopranos fan?
I haven't seen all of it. I've seen most of it, probably, because Rachel watched it when we first moved back here. No. I didn't watch it
We'll get back to comics soon, I promise.
Right. I didn't watch it with her. I just kind of watched it occasionally when she was watching it.
Bro, you are killing me right now. Sopranos is so good.
Look, it is good. I'm not saying it's not.
All right,
good.
we'll talk later. I'll ring you out later. Anyway,
ring me out.
Ring. So Maximum Carnage. I bought this as a kid. I liked it. Now, I was also 10, 12 years old when this came out. So I mean, let's be real. I was target audience for it. This is not regarded as a great story by most people. I would say it's not a great story. At the same time, I am not reading Maximum Carnage for high art purposes, to so to speak. As we would talk earlier about other things, about high art. Maximum Carnage, I think, has a place in Spider-Man's mythos as far as history, as far as... Obviously, it's a big deal back in the day. I mean, a video game on it. It helped bring Carnage, like you said, back to the mainstream. I mean, introduced Shriek as a character. I mean, who's in Let There Be Carnage. I mean, she's not in anything. I remember as a kid, when I was first reading it, I thought she was an established character. Because they definitely did not say, hey, big deal. Yeah, way to brag, Mr. Video Game over here. But
Mr. Video Game.
Oh, have fun with this thing. Oh, God, this thing is horrible.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this part, but...
But no, I thought Shriek was an established character. I didn't realize she wasn't until much later. I went, oh, she really isn't. So, and I think she's been underutilized. I really thought she was an interesting character for the most part. So,
this third button thing is killing me.
Oh, you're killing me. Oh God. So anyway, yeah. So I as a kid, I read it. It took me a while to get all the issues though, because because back in the day it was hard to keep track of what was what and everything. So
yeah.
But I didn't end up reading it. I liked it for the most part.
Stupid ledge.
When you look at the comic books, the artists in line are kind of nuts, man. You have Ron Lim, Mark Bagley, Alex Savick or Savick, whatever his name is. I can't pronounce anyone's name. Sal Buscema, and I think Tom Lyle. And Tom is not as probably the I would say they probably. I think it's his name. I think it's Tom Lyle. He was an artist on Spider-Man for a long time. He was into the Clone Saga actually at that point. So he was on it and that was adjectiveless Spider-Man. He was on that title for a long, long time.
That ledge is driving me nuts.
It drew me. We played this a few weeks ago, and it drove me nuts too. So, Kyle. Chris, when did you've actually read this, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking about this the other day.
What the crap?
That's bug. That's a bug, bro. That's a bug.
Oh, come on.
Have you read this thing, and when did you read it?
I read it when I worked at the comic shop in
Do you own
Washington.
this?
I do not.
I knew it. You read it while you worked.
I did. Because you have to do your homework, man. When you work at a comic book shop, you have to be trying to keep up with... Why am I not able to get up on that ledge?
I don't know, man. It's a bug, dude.
Oh, my God. But yeah, no, I mean, look, when I was doing my Spider-Man history lesson, basically...
Was this the first thing you read?
It was not the first thing I read, but... Oh, come on.
Dude, that's weird. I ain't gonna lie, that's weird. You're gonna get shot.
I actually started with Straczynski. That was what...
That's very interesting.
Because he was just about finished at the time, so...
Is that when you first started working at the comic store? It was around Straczynski, right around One More Day? There you go.
Yeah, 2007. I started in mid-2007, so One More Day was...
2007?
Like the first thing that happened...
Bro, it does not seem that long ago, but it was... Oh,
crap. Yeah, no, it was... I mean, I didn't really get... Son of a... People are probably looking at this going like, why is he so
his game is hard, Holmes. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie, man.
This game is no joke.
Part of this might be this controller, too.
There you go. You got it.
Okay.
Yeah, you're Mr. Video Game. You should be into this thing, man.
Unless I just fall down again. But
go.
Oh, wrong way. Ah, God. Oh, man. So...
Do you want me to do it? You want me to take over? Just to give a break.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna switch controllers. I think that's gonna make a difference. But anyway,
right, so keep talking.
All of that to say that I cut my teeth when it comes to Spider-Man on Straczynski, which was a surprisingly he invoked a lot of history in his Spider-Man run. So I felt like I was learning a lot while I was reading JMS's Spider-Man run, and that was really helpful for me in sort of getting the lay of the land. In terms of what the recent comics had done. So I enjoyed that. But Venom, see, and I've been saying this, Venom never came into the picture when I was reading regular Spider-Man, except for Mac Gargan.
Really? Oh, yeah. That's a good point. We'll come back to that, but continue.
Yeah, so... My perspectives on Venom early on, because Eddie Brock showed up as anti-Venom during some of the Dark Reign stuff.
It was pre-Dark Reign. Anti-Venom showed up Brand New Day. New Ways to Die.
It was in New Ways to Die?
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't part of Dark Reign?
No, it predated it.
I'll take it.
Dark Reign was post Secret Invasion.
Okay.
And Secret Invasion, and I want to say,
see now.
Wait, hold on a second. Maybe you're right.
No, you're right. New Ways to Die was
before
before.
Yeah, because that was part of the
American Son was the only.
Yeah,
real
that's
Dark
right.
Reign.
Yeah, that's right. Dark Reign, because American Son, God. You really haven't read Spider-Man lately, have you?
No.
Oh, you're in for a treat, man.
so
he's got no idea, people.
The symbiote stuff really didn't have a lot to do with Spider-Man while I was reading him. You know,
they really haven't for a long time. Let's be real.
Cletus Cassidy never showed up in Amazing Cassidy. Cletus.
There he is.
There he is.
Which, by the way, I want you all to know that I'm gonna be pissed off if there's not some kind of at least Easter egg about Doppelganger in Spider-Man No Way Home. If we're getting a multiverse, I better see Doppelganger. That's all I gotta say. Especially if Carnage and Venom are in it. So, you're dead.
What is going on?
Oh.
Why can't I get...
Oh, dude.
Okay, finally got it.
Oh my God.
Even though I lost all of my life. So that all of that is to say that I had to do a lot of digging and I had to do a lot of homework to learn about the symbiotes, because really the most prominent Venom when I was reading Spider-Man, when I started reading Spider-Man, oh my God.
Please tell me it saves where we left off.
Yes.
We have one continue.
One continue. Okay. Rooftop. So 3 lives from the rooftop.
All right. So continue your little thing here.
The first major Venom... I mean, I knew Venom, of course, because I was a big fan of the animated series. Yeah. Because I was just hit that button again on the side. Oh.
Hold on, people. Non-video game person, obviously, in the works here. There we go. Oh.
There.
Anyway.
So really the first major Venom that I was exposed to in the course of reading the regular monthly book was Flash Thompson. And but I mean, obviously I was a fan of the animated series, so I knew all about Eddie Brock and I knew about the story, and I would go back and read Spider-Man back issues, and I knew how he got the suit and all the particulars related to the rise of Venom.
Hi, honey, I'm back.
But so really, all of that is to say that Venom and Carnage, especially, just they didn't really enter the equation all that much. The biggest time I saw Carnage in my time actually checking in on the regular monthlies was when the Sentry ripped him in half in the second issue of New Avengers.
Sentry ripped Venom in half?
Carnage.
Oh, yeah, Carnage.
During the breakout in the raft.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a great... Yeah. It takes him out in outer space.
But Carnage showed up on the animated show, so I knew how dangerous he was. And whenever I caught glimpses of him in the actual comics, you knew that this was a... Like, he was Joker with a symbiote. That's basically what they kind of tried to push forward with him in a lot of the stories that I read anyway. So...
Kind of? I mean, it seems like... It seems like almost like a...
Maybe Zaz with a symbiote would be a better approximation.
I mean, you're not wrong to an extent. Oh, God. I don't like hitting girls, but I don't like hitting the hair either. But yeah, I mean, it's... I don't know. Like, you've read that Spider-Man comic with Batman, right? Where, like, it's Joker...
and Carnage, yeah.
Yeah.
Mark Bagley and JM. It was JM and Bagley,
yeah,
dude.
Yeah. Which, by the way, like, Bagley drew a phenomenal Batman back in the day. When he came on Batman...
And Spider-Man.
Well, dude, that goes without freaking saying. I'm saying...
But that Spider-Man even looks different than he would look in Ultimate.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about Ultimate.
Okay.
Because that Ultimate Spider-Man is not the real Spider-Man. Let's be real.
Well, no, but... Although, the Ultimate Spider-Man game might be one of the better games where you can play as Venom. Just putting that out there. But anyway, I mean, so Carnage never really entered the equation for me in the actual ongoings, but then when I would go back and read stories like Maximum Carnage, obviously I got a good baseline to understand who this guy was and what made him tick. So at the end of the first movie, when you see Woody Harrelson in that awful wig...
So bad.
appears as Cletus Cassidy, it's like, oh, well, it makes sense that that's where the sequel's going to go, because you need someone who has the ability to be kind of an equal and opposite force for Venom, and who is better for that role than Carnage. So, it was pretty easy to see where the second movie was going to go. I certainly agree with you that in terms of the identity of the movie, it didn't know what it wanted to be, that first one. Like, was it going to be serious, or was it going to be way more tongue-in-cheek? Like, what was the deal with that exactly? And one of the first things that I want to say about Let There Be Carnage, it knows exactly what it is.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, you have a guy making his directorial debut who has a lot of experience with, like, motion capture performance, which I'm sure helps. But also, too, like, the irreverent attitude that Tom Hardy displayed as Eddie Brock in the first one, and as Venom in the first one, on total and full display in the second one, at a whole other level. And I think I like the second one more, to be honest.
It's like, I mean, to me, it's like night and day, bro.
You think it's that much of a difference?
Oh, I mean, okay, how about this? It went from, like... yeah, it's night and day. I think they're much better. I mean, is it like super? Is it? How about this? It went from like I'd say realistically a 5.5 from Venom to like probably like I'd say like a 7.5.
Really?
Or 7? A solid 7. I would say. How about that?
All right.
Give me this. Yes, thank you.
Okay, now this level, I'm pretty sure that there is like a stockpile of hearts and an extra life.
Continues?
I think there's an extra life. Climb around and...
It says, go! Like in that second Spider-Man movie. Oh!
What was that?
I don't know, but hope it's a continue.
It wasn't. Go that way. Ah! Oh, well, yeah, deal with these guys first. So it was fun, right? I mean, it was...
I got it.
Just tap that button again. There you go. It was fun. I mean, it knew what it wanted to be. I mean, I don't know what it is that repels women I know away from the Venom movies, My wife hated the first one.
Oh, Morgan did too.
Right, yeah. You said Morgan hated it. And, like... But Rachel wouldn't even go with me to the theater to watch the first one. Like, hey, I'm going to see Venom. You want to come with me? No. It wasn't even like, no, I don't think so. It was like an emphatic, no. Oh.
Please be continued. Oh, here. It's all you, Holmes.
All right.
That was a continue, by the way.
Yeah. So I think the second one is generally pretty solid because there's no identity crisis to be found.
All right, so you said you cut your teeth on the Flash Thompson Venom storyline.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I mean, what I think that did is it kind of opened up the idea that, look, Venom, because I hadn't read Lethal Protector yet. It wasn't until a couple years later that I read Lethal Protector.
And let's be real, Lethal Protector is not exactly this, like...
It's not a masterpiece. I'm not going to... No, I don't
not
think
by any means.
No. But it's fun, right? And it sets up a series of rules for Eddie that other stories didn't give him.
Well, it needed to, right? I mean, they had no choice.
Yeah.
I mean, they needed to...
But the Flash Thompson stuff kind of opened up the idea that, hey, there's heroic potential with this symbiote.
Well,
that you might not be aware of.
But there always was heroic potential with the symbiote.
Oh, come on. Really? You're just going to punch my feet to death?
I mean... Ankle spurs hurt, Holmes.
Alright. I'll take your word for it.
Hit. There you go.
Yeah, I just wanted to...
Oh!
Yeah,
It's that hard, Holmes. There you go. The Rick Reminder Venom series is good. It's not Venom, though. Let's be real. It's not a traditional Venom.
No, and I wouldn't characterize it that way. But I think it was successful in just trying to do something different.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, though. I did like it. It definitely was enjoyable to read. It was definitely cool for a different kind of take on Venom and Flash Thompson as a whole, especially with this whole reveal of losing his legs in war.
Yeah.
Again, which was a great. I think a pretty good decision on.
See there.
Oh,
there it is.
Oh, where does that continue at though, Holmes?
Oh shit. I mean, poop.
That's right.
Paul doesn't like swearing.
That's definitely not true. You know that.
Oh, crap. I did.
Yeah. So, have you read anything besides with Eddie Brock, Lethal Protector, and Maximum Carnage?
Yeah. I mean that was a life.
Well, that's good.
I mean the anti-Venom stuff in Amazing. I think that counts, right? I mean because.
That's right, because he is anti-Venom. That's right.
Yeah.
Which I liked. I have their figure of anti-Venom. I liked the anti-Venom idea. See, Dan Slott, and I am a Dan Slott somewhat. I wouldn't say I'm an apologist. Oh, God, that's weak. But I think he has really good ideas, and anti-Venom was a really cool idea, I thought.
Mm-hmm. He expanded the world for Peter, as far as I'm concerned. But all of that is just to drive the point further home that, I mean, by the time the first movie came out, it doesn't seem like Marvel really had a whole lot of ideas for what to do with Venom until very recently. And now there's an explosion of Venom stuff that is stemming from people realizing, oh, there's an appetite for this character.
Right. Well, and... I'll be honest too. I mean, have you read any of the Cates or was it Coates? Cates always for his how do you say his name? Danny Cates. Is it Danny Cates?
Oh no, I never read that.
You know, I read some of Absolute Carnage and I've read some Cates stuff, and I don't think he's a bad writer by any means. I don't know, the whole Knoll thing about is really cool. I think it's cool he's expanded the universe of Venom. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I really think Venom is that cool or interesting still. You know, I mean.
So when it comes to the understanding of Venom as you know him, then how does the movie add a wrinkle to what you know about Eddie Brock? Both of them. How do both the movies?
Well, I think that it's a much different character. I don't think the characterization of the film of Eddie Brock is anything like the comic character, and I think that's a good thing. Oh, thank God! Good to continue. I think that, in fact, I would say the characterization of Eddie Brock in the movie is a much better character overall.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. Eddie Brock has been, because he was so popular in the comics as far as being a villain for Spider-Man, they did everything they could to make him, him and Peter together and make him a likable character when he was kind of a despicable person.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he basically tortured Mary Jane. I mean, to a point where she resents the black costume. Like, he can't wear the black costume because of the storyline with Mary Jane. Because she hates it that much.
Was that in Back in Black?
That, no, that was back in the original appearance. Because what happened was, in Amazing Spider-Man 299 and 300, Venom shows up, and she thinks it's Peter.
Right.
And it's Venom. He goes, "Hi, honey, I'm home," and pretty much freaks her out. And when Peter comes back, he's in the black costume, and she's like, "Take off your mask." And he's like, "What's going on?" And then she tells him, and he's like, "Oh crap!" And and then Venom kicks the living snot out of Spider-Man later on. So there's a part where in the McFarlane's run, which, let's be real, when McFarlane's writing adjectiveless Spider-Man, McFarlane's not the best writer, people, if you haven't noticed this. Oh, get that. Oh, dagger! Oh, no! Ah! Oh, what?
Cloak.
Well, yeah, but...
This is supposed to happen.
Oh, gotcha.
They save him at the last minute from dying, I guess.
That's right. But anyway, so at one point when Spider-Man needs to go down in the sewers and Morbius is hanging out there, he dons the black costume so that way when he goes down there that people can't see him because they recognize the red costume. And when he decides to do that, Mary Jane gets pissed. And it's again, good characterization, continuity of remembering that. And she says, you can do it, but I hate that costume. I don't want you ever to wear that, basically. So it's interesting. It's an interesting idea. Oh, man.
Crap.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think the characterization of Eddie Brock in the comics has been changed. And I think part of it is to bring... That's why, I don't know if you knew this, kind of spoiler warning.
Oh, there he is.
There he is. Oh, ouch! Ouchie. No, Tandy! Oh, Cloak. God bless Bill Mantlo, man.
Now, this follows the original story pretty closely.
This is straight from the comic book.
Yeah.
That's Alex Savick, whatever his name is. There's Mark Bagley.
There's Eddie.
That's Mark Bagley, 100%.
It's alive. We thought we were done with you, but we've come back to make sure that this time...
You know what's funny? I actually have the graphic novel. I need to grab this thing. Hold on.
Oh, you do?
I'm pretty sure I do.
Yeah, mind the wires. we got a lot of wires hooked up to make sure that we can do this.
Yeah, I definitely have this. Where is it? Where the hell did I put it? There it is.
See, and I told you when we were walking out of the movie, man, I want the white spider back on Venom. Ah, nice.
Well, I can tell you this right now. It's going to happen.
Cool.
Because Spider-Man No Way Home, I think, is going to be where... Again, spoiler alert if you haven't seen Let There Be Carnage, but if you haven't, I'm sure you've been spoiled already. The ending of Let There Be Carnage...
Oh, so who should we play as here?
Oh, gotta be Venom.
Venom?
Yeah, we're talking about Venom. We got to.
Alright.
Oh, man, this is bringing back just looking at this comic book. Oh, Sal Buscema artwork is just chef's kiss. Dude, Sal Buscema drew a solid Venom, man.
This gives him such weight when he lands. Look at how it... Ka-chunk.
Yeah, that's cool.
Ka-chunk. There's a little bit of a rumble whenever he hits the ground.
God, I love Sal Buscema artwork. Oh, this bring me back home. That Mark Bagley freaking... Ugh. So good. He drew a great Shriek, too. I would say his Shriek is the best, by far. Draws a great Shriek. God, I did love this as a kid. I don't even care. I love this crap, man.
Man, look at Cletus's face.
Yeah.
That's cool.
The layouts for this is really good. Ron Lim, such an underappreciated artist.
So, when you look back at that and you look at the movies that we've gotten now, the 2 movies that we've gotten from Venom in particular, do you feel like it's kind of evolving the idea of the character, or is it just going in a wholly different direction?
Wait, say it again. Sorry, I was looking at the comic.
When you look at the comic, do
Yeah.
you see that, hey, they're taking Venom in a new, maybe better direction, or do you see? Do you recognize the guy that you see in the movies as?
Do you think there's a better direction in the movies than in the comics as of now, or is in general? Oh,
You're up.
okay.
Yeah.
But wait, what?
Start.
Sorry, no one. I'm sorry. What? So, like, you're talking about the now, or just in general?
Well, just like looking at this and looking at the game, because clearly it's inspired by these pages,
right?
And then you think of the guy that we see in the movies now. Do you think that it's like an adaptation of Eddie Brock as you know him? Is it like a recognizable vision, or is it just so different that it's doing its own thing?
It's recognizable. I mean, I think that the one thing that I think the movies have done a better job of is giving a better a personality to the symbiote, right? I mean, in the comics, I mean, it's just Eddie's like they're united. We're one and the same. Whereas Venom clearly makes both There Be Carnage and the Venom franchise, film franchise, has made Venom and the symbiote 2 different distinct characters, which honestly is genius. I think it makes it a much more interesting movie, and and it doesn't hurt. You have a great actor like Tom Hardy playing him, so that's why I'm saying the characterization of Venom is much better in the movie than in the comic. But here's the thing, though. I do agree the White Spider needs to come back on Venom. That is a huge missing piece of the marketing. But now that Spider-Man and him are on the collision course at some point, and I think they're going to eventually become allies. I think the symbiote's going to end up liking Spider-Man. I think because eventually you're going to have the symbiote and Spider-Man have to team up together. And, a la like in Let There Be Carnage, there's going to be a time when they're going to, Venom and Eddie will be separated, but they'll be, Spider-Man and the symbiote will have to be together, and he'll don the spider probably to be a representation for Peter, but then all of a sudden, when he goes back to Venom will keep it because he likes the spider. So it's one of those. I think that's what's going to end up happening personally.
So this whole conversation at this point is kind of a reaction to the mid-credit scene, basically.
Right.
So, I mean, for those of you who don't know, I hope you've seen the movie.
We said spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. It looks like there's some sort of multiversal incursion that deposits Eddie and the symbiote into the MCU at the end of the movie. And so already, like, certain suppositions that I think some people had made about maybe the first movie, like, oh, it was in the MCU, you just couldn't quite tell. No, it wasn't. It was doing its own thing, and now we see that Venom is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe for all intents and purposes. So that opens up a lot of possibilities. I certainly hope that some of them are explored in No Way Home.
I need some hearts.
But, yeah, how do you think that happened? Oh, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Are we out?
No! Oh!
Oh, well.
This might be a good place to stop, but but continue. But finish your thought, and we'll kind of.
Well, no, like how do you think that happened? How do you think Eddie and the symbiote were dropped into the MCU?
I think when I said on the podcast for the Marvel newscast, I think that I think in No Way Home, when Doctor Strange is doing his whole thing, I think when he's tapping into the multiverses, whatever, I think he's bringing in all affecting anything associated with Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. And because even though that side of that universe maybe doesn't have, well, that we know of,
a Peter Parker
does have a Daily Bugle, as we see in the movie. Mm-hmm. I think that it touches on, what's the word I'm looking for? I think it touches anything that touches Spider-Man's world gets affected, and they're all come to the same place. I do also think that Venom could. I've heard rumors that Venom could also take place in the Andrew Garfield universe.
Interesting.
Which I'd be into. Dude, can you imagine if two English actors like Tom Hardy and Andrew Garfield playing off each other in a team-up movie? Not with Tom. I mean, Tom Holland obviously is English as well.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. But Andrew Garfield's he's a pretty Tom's respected, but so's freaking Andrew Garfield is
England has been the source of a lot of American superheroes for the last 20 years.
Right. But you know what I'm saying though.
I
mean, having Andrew Garfield and freaking Tom Hardy would be just incredible.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
So I don't know. I mean, so yeah, that's kind of my thing. Is I'm just kind of, I think that is a possibility. That's what I think ends up happening.
The last real question that I have for you,
all right,
because obviously that mid-credit scene, people like us eat that up, right? We live for stuff like that, basically. Do you think that on its own, Let There Be Carnage is a decent enough movie, or do you think it's going to be mostly remembered for sort of the character building? I mean, we didn't talk about Woody Harrelson as Carnage.
We don't need to.
You think it was bad?
No, not necessarily, but it just wasn't great either.
It was not Natural Born Killers.
Well, yeah, but what is?
Right. But do you think it's going to be remembered on its own merits in a couple of years' time when we're ready to see a new Venom movie, potentially?
Let me get this straight. Let me set this record straight. That I think Woody Harrelson did a fine job. He just didn't do an amazing job. I thought he was good, but he wasn't great. Mm-hmm. In my own personal opinion. Who wants some pizza boxes? Pizza boxes.
Newspapers.
Pizza boxes.
It's by a newsstand.
Get your pizza boxes. Get your pizza boxes.
Oh, it's the pizza that the guys at the newsstand were eating.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, man, they're giving me so many hearts right now. This is ridiculous.
You've been holding your own really well this time.
We'll keep it going here. So I don't know. I mean, what do you think so? That he's did a great performance?
Look, in terms of comic book movie villain performances, no.
Say superheroes. Comic movies are not. I would not call it. You know what I mean?
Superhero movie performances, no. He's not the top tier of the villains that I would put. But I mean, considering that he was also supposed to be at least a little bit sympathetic, he did what he could with the material. But I guess I also have kind of an issue with the idea of making Carnage sympathetic. He seems more in the vein of a Red Skull who relishes in what he is, But that's a personal preference. I thought I enjoyed the movie, and Carnage was a part of that. I'll put it that way.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I do think it's a better movie than the first one. It pulls from...
Oh, God.
It charts its own course. It pulls from broad strokes from books like this one. But, no, it was fine doing its own thing. But in terms of what it says it's setting up for the rest of the characters going forward, that might be its biggest contribution, in my mind.
The one thing I'm going to say about...
that was a pretty good run.
Thank you. The one thing I will say about Carnage I think that they got wrong was the fact that Cletus and the symbiote were not one and the same. That was, I thought, wrong. Because...
Yeah, they were in conflict quite a lot of the time.
Yeah, do what I want to do. God dang it. You want to do it out? How do you do webs on this thing? I forgot.
Try one of the. I think Z maybe.
Oh, Z. Okay. There you go. All right, it's the middle one.
Oh. Okay.
There you go.
You see what I mean though about having like a dedicated button for it?
Yeah. All right. You win.
I'm not trying to win. I'm just trying to make.
Oh,
it
you
easier.
won. But yeah, so I think that was my biggest issue because in the comic books, which I think is better, when you have them being aligned, like that to me makes you dick. That makes more sense to me. Like the fact that ended up being their undoing was like.
Yeah, it was weird seeing them like working against each other.
Yeah, when the comic books was like they're like there's no way, you know.
The true villain was the Carnage symbiote. No, I mean Cletus Cassidy is a unrepentant murderer. You can't try and make him that sympathetic of a presence. It just seems a little ridiculous.
Oh,
hey, you got saved though.
Run for Marty!
Nice. Back the other way. Run
for it, Marty! Okay. Yeah, that was my main issue.
Oh, well, you got a ledge there. That's okay.
Stupid doppelganger.
He shouldn't be able to attack you right there, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Oh god.
You got it.
Oh god, that's doppelganger. I don't like him.
Nice. That was a good run, man.
I know I'm doing pretty well right now. We'll go a little bit longer, but that was my biggest problem. I think with Carnage, the fact that those two characters were not in line, and it doesn't really make sense to me, in my opinion, that they be oh god, dick.
God, he hit so hard.
I know, man. What the heck, dude?
Oh well, hey, you got it though.
Yeah. So I mean, and Shriek also, like, as you could see, her powers are not by Sonic, like a Banshee from X-Men or Siren. It's like with her hands. Mm-hmm. And on the podcast with Sean, I'm like, I don't remember like her using her mouth to like, Well, but he's at a good point. Well, it makes sense for her name Shriek, right? I'm like, yeah.
I feel like it was more that they needed a foil that could disrupt the symbiote, right?
Well, she can't disrupt. She has Sonic Blast at her freaking. She shoots freaking laser beams out of her hands.
But they turned her into more like the Silver Banshee as opposed to.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, hey, it is what it is. But we both liked it.
Yeah. So next week, to kind of preview next week, I think I kind of told you we're gonna do this. We're gonna do a what if required reading, MC required reading, and Alex from Comic Book Historians will be rejoining us.
Nice.
I don't know when we're gonna do it. He's gonna let me know. He's a busy man. He's a historian. He's busy. But he said he'd get back to me, and when he does, we will figure that day out. And so, Chris, hopefully you're going to be able to make it. I'm not sure. I don't know when the day is going to be, but
just keep me in the loop.
But this is the first time he'll be hearing this. When will you? Do you already have some What If comics picked out? Pick me out 2 comics from What If, sir.
I'd need to think about it.
Have you even read What If? I mean, legitimately?
A few, not very many.
That's what I thought.
But yeah, a few.
You're
I don't know if I've read it. No, I'm being upfront
I'm
about
kidding,
it.
I'm kidding.
I haven't read any of the... Whoa.
Yes! That's right.
I haven't read any of the classic ones.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. I'm not a big fan of the... I'm not a big fan of the original 70s comics.
Really?
I mean, the ones that I've read. There's some... I take it back. Some are really good.
Had one of the... Didn't you have like a Masterworks collection of?
I had the classic, the first like issues.
Okay.
Roy Thomas is not my favorite writer. I've found out from a comic book standpoint.
Yeah.
And maybe that'll be different if I read some other stuff he did, but I'm not really a fan of his original What If Spider-Man joined the Fantastic Four.
Okay.
But Jim Shooter wrote a great comic, a What If comic about the Avengers. And people are going to laugh about this, but it was Rob Liefeld who actually introduced me to that idea. And he was right. It's a fantastic comic book. Mm-hmm. And I read some other comic books by Peter Gillis, who wrote some of the Doctor Strange one, like What If Doctor Strange joined Dormammu or something like that, and that was interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think you got to swing over to him.
Oh yeah, that's right. So yeah, so what the heck, dude? Seriously, bro?
It's real finicky.
Oh, it sucks. Whatever. So yeah, so I mean, I really liked. That was some good stuff there, but like the 90s is my jam.
Okay.
Like I have, these aren't part of my my recommended readings. These are a little bit different, but the Spider-Man ones would be one I've talked about a ton is What If Spider-Man Kept His Cosmic Powers?
Mm-hmm.
That's a great one. What If Spider-Man Kept His Extra Arms? That is a great one as well. What If Spider-Man Married the Black Cat? That's a two-parter. That is fantastic. The first one is What If Spider-Man and Mary Jane Didn't Get Married? And the next one is What If Spider-Man Married the Black Cat instead?
And then What If Spider-Man Mary Jane Didn't Get Married was...
One More Day?
was canonized.
Oh, God. Oh, God. I need to bring it up, didn't you?
Well, I'm looking forward to that. That should be fun.
Yeah, no, it was... yeah, so find your comics, man.
I will.
I'm curious what Alex will bring up, because he's... Oh, what the?
Oh, that was cool.
That was pretty rad. So, yeah, I'm curious what he'll bring because I have he's read a bunch of What If too, and but we're both like '90s kids, and the ones I picked out are it's funny. He loved both the ones. He's already read those other ones I've already picked out, which I'll tell you after off the air. But pretty fun. But yeah, that's gonna be next week, and I'm hoping to get on a more traditional. A routine schedule of 2 videos a week, and then we gotta do Earth 2 still.
Yeah,
I keep talking about it. Eventually gonna happen. I almost have to reread them at this point. I mean, I don't think I'm that bad, but
couldn't hurt anything.
Well, it could hurt my pride.
All right. Well, I think that we should probably call it right there. Right?
Let's call it. Dagger comes in, saves the day. I mean.
All right.
It's all right. So take us out. I'm gonna let beat my dog out.
No, that's cool, man. Hope you enjoyed this. We'll do it again.
Bye, y'all.
Read
Heading down.
more comics.
More comics.